as you know, it's all over the news. In fact, you know, the Lagos EndSARS report was submitted to the governor, and one of the papers this morning is talking about anger over Lagos EndSARS report. That's just one of the papers. UN, US, SANs to government act on Lagos EndSARS report is another headline. It's all over the place. Even one of my guests, Mr. Malachy Ugwummadu, former president CDHR, has actually made his own comment too, and it's out there. And we have also Nelson Ekujimi, human rights activist, public affairs analyst, and he was there with the panel observing it, virtually becoming an unofficial member of the panel from day one till the very, very end, right?
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Indeed. Starting from there, how do you think it went? How the methodologies that they went about, that they employed to do their work, satisfactory?
Yes, I must state very clearly that the panel came out doing their job thoroughly, because all parties, people who petitioned, you know, were allowed to have their say in court, and you know, respondents also had the opportunity of, you know, saying giving their own side of the story. And the panel also called for testimonies from, you know, experts on gray areas, and we saw the experts, you know, appear before the panel to throw more light on areas that needed to, you know, to be explored further. By and large, the panel, as you know, the procedure, you know, was very, very good. Along the line, the panel had to change its methods from, you know, oral testimony to front-loading of processes. And you know, at the end of the day, people like us who are laymen, we became semi-legal practitioners.
Paralegals.
Only remaining for us
Paralegals.
remaining for us to go to the higher institution, as well as the Nigeria, as well as the law school, to be certified as a legal counsel.
You know, it's officially known as the Lagos State Judicial Panel of Inquiry on Restitution. Is that right? Lagos State Judicial Panel of Inquiry on Restitution for victims of SARS-related abuse and other matters. All of that was in there. You've commented, and among the panel actually, you know, had some major recommendations. One of which is that there probably needs for disciplinary action to be visited on high-ranking people that were invited to the panel, soldiers in particular, and that didn't honor those investigations, those invitations.
Well, first of all, let me commend the panel. I actually had a couple of cases there, but we dealt with one, which was in the favor of my client. He got compensations, and I also commend her, because unlike the other three, in respect of whom I petitioned the panel, she's the only lady, but because she's also a member of the CDHR, she summoned the courage to go through all the requirements, including that front loading that became a bit difficult for so many people. The panel was constituted pursuant to the Tribunal of Inquiry Law, Chapter T7 of the Laws of Lagos State, 2015. The recommendation is submitted. I'm sure that the official report itself, as shown, is already before the government. The next struggle is the implementation of the report. And I imagine that is what has informed the constitution of the four-man body to be headed by the Attorney General of the Lagos State. Those who did not appear have been penciled down for further disciplinary actions. Now, who does that? Who enforces that? To what extent can the Lagos State mechanisms of uncovering what has happened in Lagos State apply to officers of the Nigerian military? Do they have the capacity and power to get that enforced? Those are the issues.
Those are the issues.
But as a nation, we have come to this point where we're no longer under any ambivalence as to what happened.
Yeah.
Enough has happened with respect to subjecting the events of those periods into serious, crucible evaluations. Reports are out. Evidence is out there now. As a matter of fact, what you have now is sufficient enough to grant further actions. Anyone who decides, as I've admonished, to go to court now, either to enforce his fundamental rights, and make no mistake about it, the rules of rights enforcement procedure does not require the victim himself any longer to be the applicant.
Okay.
Friends, relations, nest of kings can go to court on behalf of the victims, including those who were killed, to enforce their fundamental rights. With the reports available, it can further fortify the case you bring to court.
Because the panel actually recommends, Nelson, disciplinary action against Lieutenant Colonel S.O. Bello and Major General Godwin Omelo for refusing to honor the panel's invitation, were summoned, and soldiers deployed to Lekki Toll Gate on October 20, 2020 should all be stripped of their status and be dismissed from service. Those are one of the...
Well, I've seen these reports, but I'm very, very careful because the report has not come out from the official sources. It's when we want to act on a report, I think we should expect the panel itself or the Lagos State government to release a white paper on the report. Then we'll know that we are talking, authoritatively. As it is, this report can as well be said to be, from the rumor mill.
Okay, and also continuing from that rumor mill, the panel recommends that all arrested during the protest should be granted bail, prosecuted, and where there is no evidence should be released. I didn't even know that there are still individuals being held.
So that is some of the drawbacks. Yes, we accept that we are waiting for the white paper and a period of a fortnight from the point of submission is given for that to be ready. But what is out there now is what has always been known. It was only the narrative created by the government itself that tended to obfuscate what was already known, namely that people, Nigerians, were killed. Secondly, that there were sufficient effort to suppress the events of 20th October 2020. And thirdly, that there were cover-ups, attempts to cover it up. It is on that score that very many people have started commending at least the Lagos State government that has come out fully with a thorough judicial process through the judicial panel to uncover what has happened. And if you may, there were very serious international media organizations, governments, agencies, embassies, the US, UK, and so on and so forth, including Amnesty International, that gave a graphic account of what they believe happened. So if you gather all of those, and as victims, you don't need all of those to at least activate your rights. Indeed. So if we already know, I personally took a lot of matters there. So do I need an official report before I am convinced that this is what happened? It was on the account of direct victims of. I think what was a bit missing is that very high profile people were not directly affected. Otherwise, the narrative would have shifted a bit. Yeah. These are ordinary Nigerians who felt the pains and pangs of the violence perpetrated by the Nigerian police and who were very determined to give effect to what they believed were the rights that they still have. And that was what happened.
And in that light, I imagine, the federal government, the panel also recommends that the federal government should publicly apologize to Nigerian youths for, undermining the EndSARS protests with their state actors, is the way it is phrased. This is in addition to, wanting the Lekki Toll Plaza to be made a memorial. And, I think 20th of October of every year should also, be considered to be named Toll-Free Day, as long as the toll gate exists.
Well, as an observer at the panel, I can tell you clearly that some of the recommendations or some of the findings of the panel, to my layman's, to my own understanding, are at variance with the proceedings of the panel. Because I recollect that as a young man while growing up, you just need to monitor judicial cases on the pages of newspaper or through the media. And as an outsider, you can arrive at a conclusion. And definitely this is where the pendulum swings at the end of the day. But unfortunately, I saw some of the recommendations, even though, like I said earlier on, I'm cautious. And I'm like, was this what really transpired? I make reference to the issue of the DPO of Morocco that was indicted. I find that very, very, the indictment against the course of justice. That a DPO was alleged to have led his men after the military had left the place, and up till the close of the panel proceedings, no witness could come out and say, I saw the DPO. All the petitioners did was that people told us that was the DPO.
Okay.
And I thought the judiciary only acts on the basis of evidence and not on ASC.
Okay.
How can somebody say, we saw him, and nobody can provide a picture, nobody knows his name? And when the man came, and the man was summoned, and the man said, look, and the worst of all was that they said the man was wearing a white jalabia. And the man said, how can I wear a white jalabia
on an operation?
It's even risky for my own safety.
Bobby Kennedy in Jalingo, thank you for holding on. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Larry.
Good morning, sir. Carry on, please.
First of all, sir, I just have to give kudos to the government and the governor and the panel of inquiry that was set up by Lagos State government. We just have to give them kudos for a job well done. They were not biased. This thing actually happened, but all we get is just different kind of lies from the Minister of Information. Sir, I just want to give the federal government one special advice. I think it's high time the Minister of Information should just step aside if he is not fired, because it's a disgrace to this nation, and this is not what we are supposed to experience at this time. I must give kudos to the executive governor of Lagos State. It's an APC state, and the federal government is APC, but they actually shielded any party line aside this and did exactly what justice is meant. May God bless you, bless Nigeria, and let's stay in peace. Thank you so much, and God bless you, sir.
Indeed, thank you very much. Malachy, the divisional police officer of the Morocco police station, CSP Raji Ganiu, and policemen deployed from the station on the 20th and 21st of October 2020. This recommendation that they should be prosecuted for arbitrary and indiscriminate shooting and killing of protesters. What do you make of it?
Well, those are going into the specifics of the report, and the body of evidence that the panel had. You recall that these are specific cases. I wasn't there all day like Mr. Ekujimi, but he has an opportunity, having been so evaluated to the extent of his participation, to also make his own intervention. This is a panel report. Yes, it has gone into the archives, almost to be gazetted now. But I believe that, having seen snippets of the report that affects him, he can make objections if need be, and strongly enough to be able to at least point out that anomaly, if that is how he sees it. Okay. In my view, sir, the point to be made is that the Nigerian state must take full advantage of this to correct some of the malfeasance that has kept us where we are. First is to seize the denial that nothing happened, because that was a bit depressing for the victim. I was in court on that day, not even on my matter, in which the parents of one of the young Nigerians who were killed, shot point blank, were reminded, the families were reminded, the father, the mother, through a cross-examination, that do you now see that your son was involved in armed robbery? And I said, wait a minute, when has it become the verdict of a police officer to conclusively arrest, kill, and then come to court and have the temerity to rub it in in the minds and soul and pains of people.
Which probably speaks to another recommendation of the panel,
What
that
was
the police need to be trained.
What was the essence of the court at all?
Okay,
If you can just conclude that this is an element kill.
Nana, did I get that right? Nana in Ojuelegba, Lagos. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, go right ahead, quickly, please.
Hello.
We can hear you. Good morning, sir. Go right ahead.
Hello.
Okay, we can hear you. You got to say something, please.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good
Good morning, Mr. Yuri.
Thank you for calling.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is going on now in Nigeria? Can you hear me? Hello.
Nana, we can hear you. Please just go ahead.
He's listening to him, sir.
Don't listen to yourself on your TV.
Yeah.
Well, Nana doesn't know how we roll here. It's the first time I've heard that name. But just in case it happens again, Nana, once we say hello to you, please just continue. There might be echoes, and there's the temptation of some to listen to themselves on television. That won't work. So sorry that we couldn't hear the valuable input that you wanted to make. Again, switching to our lawyer here, that they were recommending that all those who were arrested during the protest should be granted bail and prosecution. I'm surprised that there still are people, shall we say, in custody.
So that is the poverty of the situation. If the military, if the government, through the Minister of Information, even the Attorney General of the Federation, are still in the business of denial, are still in the denial mood, then you would expect that concrete cases reported, echoed, are not just disregarded, but are continuing to perpetuate. In which case, it is now the responsibility of government, having seen at least the effort of the Lagos State government through the panel, to effect almost unconditionally the release of every person who was taken in on account of this struggle.
Exactly.
Secondly, even the Constitution insists that there must be apology, open apology. Once you unlawfully abridge the rights, particularly the liberty of any Nigerian, you are obligated by the Constitution to apologize besides compensations.
So we're going to have to wait and see, how government reacts to this. Solomon in K2. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Yuri.
Did I get that right? Solomon?
Good morning, from Cape Town, not K2.
Oh, Cape Town, not K2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's a far distance away. Good morning, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not streaming. To the man on your left, with white, what's it called? I quite understand with him. We need to be a bit careful and cautious with comments we made now. And to your other panelists, I think he's a lawyer and should understand it a bit better. Because one question I'd like to ask, Kyori, I'm really very sorry. The report you are reading out, is it straight from the panel or from government or what we are tapping from the social media? Because we all need to be very, very careful.
We don't tap from social media.
I'm coming to Kyori.
We don't. I just thought we should just clear that. We don't tap from social media. You can take TVC News as, the source of whatever we say here.
Can I give an example? Example?
Yeah.
This morning, there was a panel, there was an EFCC chairman on one of your talk shows. And he made it known to us that all that have been peddled in the social media, in the news media, about a diamond bra never existed. So we all need to be very, very careful. That I'm asking the report your other panelists co-supporting, is it straight from the state government, from the panels, or what you are getting from the social media?
Okay, thank you very much for calling in. I thought you would have heard when it was said that a white paper is expected imminently, and that is, but this...
I think that is the point. Look,
yes.
I'm quite concerned about what you are saying. But look, I'm a Nigerian, I'm here. I am a participant in the process. I said I have cases there. I am responding based on what I witnessed and what I participated in. I recognize that the official white paper is expected, but as Nigerians, indeed, this matter has been on all through the week, even before the submission of the report. So the issue is that the matter, has affected Nigerians in a way that requires every evaluation of it, even from participants who had the opportunity to witness what happened. And we are discussing it, pending when that report comes out.
Okay. Well, so thank you very much, Solomon in Cape Town. All the Nigerian newspapers, if you get a chance to check them out, they're all talking about this. I have another caller, which I don't. Bernard in Port Harcourt, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, please.
Okay. My contribution is that I want everybody to look at it this way, that those people who said nothing happened when the EndSARS issue took place, some said something happened. All of them were just, what is it called, a hearsay. Now a panel has been set up, and the panel has come up with their conclusion. I think we have to start from where the panel has, what the panel has come up with. So talking about whether some government said nothing happened or some people said something happened, I think that one has been late, has been arrested.
Okay.
So by conclusion, I think let us start working with the panel results. And this is what they have come up with.
Indeed. Well, thank you very much for calling in, Bobby Kennedy. Sorry. Bobby Kennedy is from Jalingo, and you are Bernard from Port Harcourt. Can't be transposing names all over the place. So really, I want to thank you, gentlemen, for coming on, and because we had to talk about this. It's an important time. It's an important segment in the timeline since the unfortunate incident and the...
Sorry, my parting shot would be that if it proves difficult to deal with those who have perpetrated these malfeasance within the municipal laws of Nigeria, what has been established appears to be crimes against humanity, and they can be qualified candidates to the International Criminal Court. And that can be part of the campaign.
Okay, spoken, as a human rights lawyer, you got any final
Yes, my parting shot is that I had high hopes with the panel, even though we have not seen the reports officially. But for a panel that sat for a year to be presuming on an issue before it, I don't think that was, tidy enough.
Okay.
I would expected the panel for areas that were still great to them to have adjourned Sinada on such cases and waiting for that investigation.
Did you just say Sinada?
Yeah, I said so.
And
because of my experience in the last 1 year.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Comrade Nelson Ekujimi. There you go. You're fast on the way. But jokes apart, thank you very much, gentlemen, for your insightful contributions. That's our program. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now.